Hello, this is Ashwin Vidyala here, and I've been thinking about this for I think an hour and a half, maybe an hour. And I've been thinking of how I'm going to explain this because in my head it just all makes sense, but it's coming from like five different directions. So I'm going to go slow and I'm going to try to explain this. And what I'm about to explain is I'm going to use an analogy that's not, well, religious, yes, but it assumes they believe in a higher power or God. If you're an atheist, not to say what I'm going to talk about is not right or true, it's just that the analogy won't work for you. So if you can look beyond my analogy and try to understand the concept, it will benefit you. And one of these days I might come up with some analogy which is not religious to explain it to you. So if you're an atheist, this might not, it might not make sense to you, which is fine. I would still urge you to watch it though. So the concept is, and this is, and I've seen this in many places. I can't really pinpoint where I've seen it exactly. Actually, I do have one example in my head which I'm going to tell you. But the concept is, when you go towards something, when you work towards a goal or something, they say, I remember this guy, he says, I've been blessed. God was with me, which is why I've been able to establish this, and he has a huge business empire, especially for the genre of his. In his industry, unheard of. So this guy makes good money for his industry, extremely good money. And so he's like, yeah, I've been blessed by God. That's why I have this. There's no other way. It's not just my skill. The concept he's alluding to is the fact that when you work towards something, when you take a step forward and you're in the right mindset, the universe or God or this energy in the field, whatever you want to call it, works in your favor to move circumstances around that will be advantageous to you. This was even talked about in The Secret, the law of attraction and stuff. See, now if now my understanding of all religions is rudimentary at the most. It's extremely limited. And when it comes to Christianity and Islam, it's even less. Hinduism maybe a little more because I've delved more into it as of right now. So, but when you talk about Christianity and you talk about Islam, they talk about, like, okay, now in Christianity and Islam, God is almost a being, but a supernatural being, right? And who has more power than you. When you talk about Hinduism, there really is no difference between this God power, God force and all, because we are all sparks of that energy, which can also be called love, power, God, energy, whatever. They're the same thing. So that's the slight distinction between the Abrahamic religions and Hinduism. I'm not going to say Eastern religions because I have no idea about the other ones. So I will talk Hinduism. But when you take a step forward and when you move towards something, the universe conspires in your favor.